What's up, Battle Squad, and welcome to another episode of Battle 5, the series where I break down my top 5 list on a particular topic, no matter what topic comes to my mind. I am your host, Logan Battles, and for this episode, I'm going to be breaking down my list for top 5 NFL teams in September, the first month of the National Football League season. Now, before we get started on the list, I do want to make a quick caveat by breaking this list down into 3 different sets of criteria so that you guys can understand and not be confused by this in an effort to make sure that I don't contradict myself on this list. Number 1, this list includes teams that didn't lose in Week 4, so any team that lost in Game 4 are not on this list. Number 2, the order of this list, at least for some of the teams in some of these spots on the list, is based on one team's previous win over the other team, whether if it was from Week 1 or Week 2 or Week 3 even. And number 3, the teams I have put on this list that I'm about to reveal to you guys within a second is based on their game performances, how well they have played in the games that they've won throughout the month of September. So anyway, now that we got all of that out of the way, let's get started on the list now, shall we? Here we go. Starting off at number 5 on the list, the Washington Commanders. Why? Because they have this rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Ever since their season opening loss to the Buccaneers, this kid has been balling, leading this Commanders team onto their 3-game winning streak. He is currently being looked at as the leading candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He, along with other playmakers on his offense, such as Brian Robinson Jr. as his running back and Harry McLaurin as his wide receiver, are a scary, scary trio of players that can make opposing defensive coordinators stay up at night. And I haven't even got to their defense, which has increasingly improved. Starting off at number 4 on the list, the Detroit Lions. Why? Because they are the Lions. They have Dan Campbell as their head coach, Jared Goff as their quarterback, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams as their dynamic wide receiver duo, as well as David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs as their dynamic running back duo. And don't even get me started with Aiden Hutchinson on their defense. That dude is a monster, and I mean that in a complimentary way, okay? Don't get that twisted. This team is definitely a playoff contender, if not Super Bowl contender. So look out for the Detroit Lions, because they are coming. Moving on to number 3 on the list, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why? Because they have Baker Mayfield. That's why. He has been balling this year so far. Top 5 in passing yards, top 3 in passing touchdowns. Chris Godwin is an absolute stud. Mike Evans finally getting a lot of passes to him from Baker Mayfield. The defense is a little bit banged up with certain key defensive players missing on the injury reserve, such as our first-team All-Pro safety, Antoine Winfield Jr., but nonetheless, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stepped up and showed out when they needed to, especially coming off of their loss the week before against the Broncos, which was clearly a wake-up call for the Bucs in their most recent win against the Eagles. Moving on to number 2 on the list, the Kansas City Chiefs. Why? Because they have Andy Reid, because they have Patrick Mahomes, because they have Travis Kelce, and because they have this rookie wide receiver they drafted in Xavier Worthy, an actual viable offensive weapon for Patrick Mahomes to rely upon other than Travis Kelce, unlike last season when the Chiefs became the team with the most dropped passes last season with 96 or 97. I don't know. It was somewhere around there that they dropped that many passes. And they still won the Super Bowl. I mean, I just don't understand how they went from being a team that at one point lost to the Las Vegas Raiders, which were one of the worst teams in the NFL last season, to being Super Bowl freaking champions for the second straight time. I still, to this day, don't understand how they managed to pull that off. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. That's a different subject for another day. They are undefeated at 4-0, being one of the only 2 teams left to do so in the NFL. And even when they struggle, even when they're down by a few points, they still manage to come back in the lead and win it in the end. So, who is the other team besides the Chiefs that is undefeated at 4-0? This team at number 1, the Minnesota Vikings. Why? Well, several reasons actually. Number 1, like I just said, they are undefeated at 4-0, being one of the only 2 teams left to do so in the NFL alongside the Chiefs. Number 2, Sam Darnold is actually playing really damn good, surprisingly. Like, I couldn't believe how well he has been playing so far this season. Completing nearly 70% of his passes, passing for 932 yards, which is 7th best in the NFL. Number 3, they still have one of the best receivers in the NFL in Justin Jefferson. 4, Aaron Jones, their running back, is not to be slept on. He can run with the football. And number 5, going back to Sam Darnold, the stat comparison that was put up on the TV screen between him and Patrick Mahomes is strikingly identical. Like what? I couldn't believe how very identical Sam Darnold's numbers are compared to those of Patrick Mahomes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my top 5 list for 5 NFL teams in the month of September, also known as the first month of the annual NFL season. Do you like the list or not like the list? Do you agree with the list or disagree with the list? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know and tell me what your top 5 lists for 5 NFL teams in September look like. I'm curious to know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do appreciate that. Please click the like button if you enjoy it. And I will be making a lot of videos here on this channel very soon. So stay tuned. I love you guys. Have a great week. And as always, fight the good fight. If you enjoy what you see here, click like on this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to turn on that bell icon so that you don't miss my newest videos. I will see you next time.